Hey guys, it's LSuperSonicQ here, and what I want to show you today is my best sculpted clay figure. So what I mean by that is I've sculpted dozens of Marios, dozens of Sonics, but these ones I consider to be the cream of the crop, the very best ones I've sculpted up to this point. So I guess I'm going to take this kind of like a top 5 kind of order, so we'll start with like number 5. And that first character is Marth. So I must say that this Marth might not be the best sculpted if you actually take, a look at his face and kind of him as a whole compared to the actual in-game melee model. But to me, I consider this one of my best because not just for the time that it was made, but just because of just kind of just everything that this model kind of represents. Like, it was the first time, I used like fabric, real fabric, for like the cape and stuff, and he poses and stuff, which is when I made him, he was still really early on in like, the posing stuff, so I didn't have it quite down as well as I do now. Just all the detail on him. Like, I kind of want to say, in short, that even though the sculpt doesn't look the best by definition of like a really perfect sculpt, the way that I did this back then and like how it looks now makes it in the top 5 is kind of what I'm saying. So yeah, I really like this guy a lot. And I've shown him off in a bunch of different videos at this point, but I still keep him in this container because I like him that much. I just did not want him to get ruined at all. So that's number 5. Number 4 is somebody actually pretty recent, which is surprising because like usually when I think of my best work and stuff, it's usually from a while ago. It's like nothing I have done recently. However, this is an exception of that because it's Donkey Kong. So I showed him off in Clay Models 11 from March of this year. And for a first Donkey Kong in a very long time, since like the mid-2000s probably, I'm surprised that he turned out this good. It really looks like Donkey Kong, and I think it kind of goes back to the Donkey Kong Country artwork having that kind of appearance to it that visually can translate into clay very well, and that's what I went for here. Not just in the sculpt alone, like I think the face is really, really good. Not even just in the pose alone, but in the way that I painted this. Like, Donkey Kong back in the Donkey Kong Country era, he was kind of more orange, and he had some texture to his fur and stuff. So that's what I try to replicate here. I have some texturing in the fur, and I made it more orange and not just all one, brown color. So I think not only just in capturing the sculpt, but just in trying to get that graphical appearance that, can be so hard to get outside of the game. It looks really good. It looks like a really good Donkey Kong, so he's number 4. Number 3 is kind of another clay figure I show off in like every top 5, top 10 video, and that's Mario 64 Mario. There's just something about this, just not like I said, not even considering when I sculpted it or anything, but just to have sculpted something like this when I did, make it look so good, and just have it happen pretty much by accident because I took a bunch of crap clay. I'm like, let's make Mario 64 Mario for no reason. And it just turned out to be this amazing model that I never could have guessed would have turned out this good. Very 64, bit style, very blocky. The paint is just great. I'm trying to reduce the glare here. You can just see it in his eyes, his mustache, his eyebrows, the logo on his hat. Just everything about it is just really, really cool. I wish you could see the back a little bit better, but kind of like Marth, I want to keep him in here because I care about him that much that I don't want him to get dusty or anything. So just such a nice model. Like, you just look at it from far away and you're like, dude, that's Mario 64. Like, that's what it is. So he is number 3. Number 2 is Luigi from Luigi's Mansion. So this guy, I have spent a ton of time when I was sculpting him, making sure I could get the face as accurate as I possibly could. Pretty much because I sculpted a Luigi the previous year. I sculpted this one over the course of the beginning of this year and late last year, but I had done a Luigi 1 year prior to this one. And it looked good, but it wasn't up to my standards that I kind of wanted it to be. There were some off-putting things in the face, and his position wasn't right, the stance, just the overall build of the body. So I really wanted to focus on getting the Luigi's Mansion style perfectly. So like I said, spent a lot of time looking at the in-game model, the face, everything about it. And guys, this is like, I swear, this is as close to an in-game like character model that I've ever been able to get a clay figure. Just everything about it, just I almost can't, like, words can't even describe how accurate this is. And he's supposed to be holding a flashlight and stuff, which I just don't have right now because I needed a flashlight. But yeah, just very accurate. And like I said in the actual video, this is like better than Joyride Studios' official figure. I mean, it really is. It's so good. It is so good. So now, after all the praise I just gave Luigi, you might be thinking, well, what the heck could top Luigi for my best sculpted clay figure? And I have to say without a doubt, it's this Sonic. So while Luigi might be the most accurate for like game representation, this Sonic I would say is the best in terms of like appreciation for an overall series, because while it might not look, as perfect as the Sonic 1 box art looks in terms of, the artwork or anything like that, just like the way that this Sonic, the way that I kind of took Sonic and tried to replicate him, and like all the appreciation I have for him as a character, and like everything that went into this model, for some reason it just shoots above all the rest when I look at it. It just really does. So just to kind of give you a rundown about it, I actually sculpted this. I was going to sell this. I was going to do an arts fair a couple years ago, or well, only last year at this point, and I sculpted this and I was going to, sell it in the arts fair and stuff, but I never got around to finishing any of the other models I planned, so I'm kind of like, well, I guess I'll just keep this Sonic, there's not going to do anything else with it, and man, am I glad I did, because it's just something about it. It's just, like, if someone was to be like, what, like, how good are you at sculpting? I would show them this. It'd be like, this is, like, this. Look at this Sonic. Like, man, just the paint, the different textures, the shades. It's classic. He's wicked classic. His shoes, just look at that. Like, the shoes, we got, like, the red shoe with the white stripe. It's just, man, something about it just really gets me in the best way possible. So this is definitely, I would say, my most accurate clay figure. Not so much, like I said, because it necessarily reflects an in-game graphical style, but just because of what this Sonic kind of stands for with everything, involving my clay. So those are my top 5 best sculpted clay figures, or at least they are in my opinion. You guys might have some other favorites that I didn't show in this video that you've seen before, but yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, this video. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, I'll have more videos soon, so until the next one, I'm LSuperSonicQ, Finn.